Alright.
So you're just going to sit here and record, or did you want to talk to one of the members of staff? Or was it
I've already spoken to the members of staff, but they don't seem to be taking on board anything that I've given them advice on.
So what was your queries to them?
No queries, advice.
What was your advice?
The fact that the G4S security shouldn't be handling personal information, they don't have the correct training. I have word from DWP on that. And just the way that they were speaking to claimants when I came in, and I was like recording some information on the leaflets, and I could overhear the way that they were talking to a claimant was very rude, condescending, and just generally disgusting. Not the way you would expect a government employee to talk to a citizen. It was very rude, so I said to them that that's unacceptable, and I will be reporting that to the appropriate person, who will be the MP for the DWP. I'll be reporting that directly to them.
That's the correct way to go
Absolutely,
with it, so.
yeah. So I was just recording, and then they said, you need to stop recording. I said, no, it's a public place, I can record here. And then they said, well, they're going to call the police. And I said, well, if they're going to waste your time to get you here, I'm not going to make you waste your time then looking for me. I'll wait for you, so you can tell them that I'm in a public place, I can record, you can't kick me out, and then we can all move on with our day.
It's not with our times, but obviously if you've got quite... So are you a customer, sir? Or
there's no customers here, there's claimants.
So are you dealing with...
No, I just came in to have a look around at the information on the boards and stuff and see how this job centre was handling people's data, something that I'd taken interest in, government bodies.
Can I just ask, are you recording?
I am, yes.
Okay, so we're also recording.
There we go, finally got there. I was going to pull you up on that because it was a bit late on that one.
Okay.
You should have told me as soon as you turned your camera on.
Were you recording conversations with...
No, I was recording information on a conversation that I overheard. The camera might have picked it up, I'm not sure. But even if it did, they shouldn't be having that conversation in a public place, should they?
Okay. Obviously, there's an expectation of privacy if claimants are sitting at the desk over there. It's a sort of cordoned off area.
No, it's not cordoned off at all, though, is it?
There's privacy screens.
Yeah, but I wasn't there. I was at the desk where all that public information. So the issue there comes. Well, if I'm recording, if I'm not recording, okay, and I overhear a private conversation and I overhear private details, that's still a data breach, whether I've recorded it or not. The fact that I've heard it is the data breach.
I'm not really interested in data breaches.
I really am.
It's not our business.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said to you as the ICO. That's why I didn't really want to bother you with it.
You've been asked to leave by staff, so you have to leave.
I haven't been asked to leave at all.
Do you want this gentleman to leave?
Don't solicit a trespass. What? Don't solicit a trespass and nod your head. Who are you? He's lied to you. It's all recorded on camera, so he's lied to you.
Yeah, he's saying he's never been asked to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just confirm that you've asked him to leave.
You've asked me to stop recording.
And you continue to record.
Yeah, you never once asked me to leave.
Okay. So can we just confirm? No longer
so you're still soliciting a trespass?
Can you just confirm to me, for his benefit, because there's obviously a bit of debate over this, is he welcome on the premises or not?
No. If he can leave because he's refusing to stop recording.
Can't really be clearer than that.
Okay. In that case, is that something that you two can get involved in?
Well, you're not trespassing.
Is that a police matter?
We will assist him in removing
It's a civil issue. You don't have the power.
We will assist him in
That's a civil issue.
Sorry, I'm not going to argue this with you. We will assist him in removing you. I'm aware it's a civil matter. I know what I'm doing.
You clearly don't.
We will assist him in removing you.
Okay.
And we will use reasonable force to do that.
You don't have the power to do that. This is not my first rodeo here, Constable.
I get your auditing, it's fine.
It's not, exactly.
I know what I'm doing and I know
You really don't, clearly, because you're threatening.
Before we dive into the confrontation you're about to see, there's a lot more going on here than just someone holding a camera inside a government building. What begins as a seemingly routine visit quickly spirals into a tense standoff involving police officers, security staff, and an auditor who claims he's simply exercising his of this once officers arrive. The entire situation begins to escalate. You'll hear arguments about trespass, human rights law, company policy, and whether the police even have the authority to remove him. The auditor insists he's perfectly within his rights to film in a public building, while staff and officers appear determined to get him to the big question becomes, who's actually right? Is this a citizen holding government institutions or someone deliberately pushing boundaries to provoke a closely? Because this encounter is full of legal arguments, tense moments, and a surprising amount of strategy from both sides.
To put hands on me.
So, there's an easy way to do this and there's a difficult way.
Yeah, the easy way is for you to understand your remit.
Right. So what's your intention? You're just going to sit here all afternoon?
Once you've told them that I'm okay to record in a public place...
There's no issue. He said that to me. He knows that you're allowed to record.
So then why is he trying to trespass me for exercising a human right? No, but he has given me a reason. He's told me the reason I can't be here is because I'm recording, which is a breach of my human rights.
The first thing he said to me was, I know it's not illegal.
Okay.
So he knows it's not illegal.
Okay, so you know what Article 10 of the Human Rights Act is.
So it's not illegal to film.
No. Okay.
But if they don't want you to do it, they're within their rights to ask you to leave.
What was your oath? Can I ask you that, Constable? Did you not take an oath to uphold the human rights of citizens of this country? Not government bodies, citizens.
Right. You're aware that you're trespassing now?
Civilly.
Yes, it's a civil matter.
Yes.
But you're aware that the occupier of the premises can use reasonable force to remove you?
The occupiers, you cannot.
And that we can assist the occupiers?
No, you cannot.
Yes, we can.
No, you cannot.
Yes,
there is case law from the Court of Appeals that disagrees with you. You put hands on me and I will take you to court.
To prevent a breach of the peace.
But it's not a breach of the peace. Right. You're breaching my peace. Okay. I'm sat here peacefully. I had a very pleasant conversation with the security.
Yeah. So you can use reasonable force to remove this gentleman, and we can be here to prevent a breach of the peace. Okay? So would you like to do that?
You can see how this encounter is being framed by the auditor. He's not presenting himself as someone causing trouble. Instead, he's positioning himself as someone raising a legitimate concern about Data P the UK. Handling personal information, especially within government services, is governed by strict data protection laws. If personal details about claimants are visible or overheard by the public, that could potentially raise issues under regulations overseen by the Information Commissioner's OFF from the auditor's perspective. The real problem isn't the filming. The real problem is what he believes is a potential data breach happening in plain SI notice something else. The staff and officers don't really engage with that argument. Instead, the focus immediately shifts to whether he's allowed to read. That shift is important because it changes the entire direction of the debating privacy compliance. The interaction becomes a debate.
Defense. I don't want to get you in trouble. You've been very polite to me. I am just giving you a warning that they are putting you in a position that you are going to lose your job for. Okay. Okay. You're very polite and I really respect that, so I'm going to lower my tone with you, okay? I don't want these constables to put you in a position that you're going to lose your job for, because I will file a complaint and I will make sure that you lose your jobs if you put hands on me.
We're happy to leave.
He's
going to sit here until you close.
Your company policy states that you are not to get physical.
Then you can use reasonable force to remove it.
And they will get fired for it because their company policies. Their company policy. I'm not listening about the law. I know what the law is. I know that they can use reasonable force. Yes, but they will lose their jobs. You're putting them in a position to lose their job because their policies say not to get physical unless it's self-defense.
And if they can make their own decision as to what they want to do.
Well, then I'm trying to advise them because the lady has been very polite. Okay. And I'm trying to not get them fired here.
If she's been nice to you, why don't you just cooperate?
Because it's not about how polite somebody is being, it's about the fact that they need to understand that they cannot refuse citizens their human rights in public places.
Okay, so are you happy with that now?
No, because they clearly don't understand, because they're still trying to...
So, like you said, you are going to raise...
Legally you can, but your policy, your company policy will get you fired for it, sir.
All what we are asking
Yes.
to leave.
Okay.
If you finish whatever you have to do, from the very beginning, we were showing you politeness.
Yes, you have, and I like to think I've been polite to you as well. I haven't raised my voice at you. I let you know of data breaches that were going on politely, and then I had a very polite conversation with you, and I've not raised my voice at you. I've not been aggressive towards you.
If you haven't got any appointment or you haven't got anything, because before you have to film, you need their authority or you need their permission.
The memo from the DWP says different stuff.
The auditor is clearly building a narrative for the officers. One where he's not just filming randomly, but documenting what he believes is unacceptable or from staff toward vulnerable members of the Remember. Job CS often deal with people in difficult financial situations. That means interactions inside these buildings can be sensitive, emotional, and sometimes tense. When someone walks in with a camera and begins recording, even if it's technically allowed in certain circumstances, it can make staff and claimants uncomfortable from the auditor's perspective. Transparency is exactly the auditors argue that filming government spaces is a way to ensure accountability. If public institutions are serving citizens, they say those interactions should withstand people working inside these buildings may see things very...
I've been polite and I don't want to put you in a position where you get physical with me and you end up losing your job.
I'm not going to put myself into that kind of...
Good, and I'm glad that you're not going to do that.
Kind of recording all that we have to tell you is that it's not allowed that
Okay,
information.
and I
That's
disagree.
what we said
I
to you.
disagree. And if the manager would get the memo, and I could show you, because I'm aware of the memo, I have a printed copy at home. I didn't bring it with me today. I have a printed copy of it, and it says in the first 4 sentences, people are allowed to record in public places. There is no law against recording in public places, and that basically the DWP cannot stop people from recording. I'm talking very nicely here. I'm done with you. I'm talking very nicely here.
That's not being disputed.
Well, it
He knows
clearly
it's not
is,
illegal,
because they're kicking me out because I'm recording, so it is being disputed, isn't it?
So he said he knows it's not illegal. You're allowed to record.
So why is he kicking me out for
But
it
you're no
then?
longer welcome on the premises.
Why?
It's separate from.
It's
the fact
not.
that
It's
you're
not.
allowed to
If he
record
had
or
just
not.
asked me to leave without giving me a reason, yes. But because he stated it's because I'm recording, that is a breach of Article 14 of my human rights. And you have an oath to uphold my human rights, Constable. You have an
How long have
oath.
you been a police officer?
You have an oath.
How long
Do you want to
have
know how many
been a police
constables
officer?
I have up on disciplinary charges? How many times I'm suing the Met Police? Do you really want to know?
I don't recognise you.
No, you
You
don't.
mustn't be that followed.
I don't-
You're not AB.
No, I'm not AB. You're right.
I thought
I'm
this
quite
whole
well
thing
followed.
was sort of like falling off.
I'm quite well followed.
How many followers?
More than you.
Oh, not on YouTube.
Oh, exactly. There you go.
You do.
Yeah, about 40,000 at the moment.
I thought they only done this at police station.
Yeah.
Any government body.
Police
Any
stations are
government body.
Yeah, so you come job centre.
Any government body. I've been doing job centres since before I was doing police stations, my friend.
Um,
Government bodies.
I mean,
Find
obviously,
interest in this.
I do find an interest in it. I find an interest in holding our government to account. That's what I find an interest in. I think it's highly important. I think it's a duty of a citizen to hold our government to account.
Like you said, they're being
They are, and I'm being very polite with them back. Yeah, and I'm being very polite with them back. But being polite and disagreeing are 2 separate issues. You can disagree with somebody while being polite, but they are because they're trying to kick me out, and that's where we're disagreeing. It's the fact that they are trying to kick me out for exercising a human right, and that is a violation of.
He fully expected the police to be C-fact. Auditors often wait specifically for that moment. The arrival of law enforcement is where many of these encounters turn into legal debates, and sometimes viral why staying put and announcing he would wait for officers. The auditor essentially ensures the confrontation will escalate to the next level. From his perspective, it gives him the opportunity to test whether officers understand the law surrounding filming in public plaque. Filming itself isn't illegal. Property owners, including government offices, may still have the ability to ask someone to leave. If a person refuses, that can potentially become a civil trespass. Is now the stage is set for the central question of the auditor have the right to remain and film, or does the property...
The fact you've oathed to uphold our rights. Anything else from your oath?
do you work, sir?
Pardon?
Do you have a job?
Do you have a job?
Yes.
No,
This is my job.
it's not a job.
What pays my
You,
bills?
you scrounge off citizens. That's what you do.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. I mean, I suppose you could say the police pay scales is scrounging. Yeah. But
No, I mean the fact that you steal our taxes to come around and abuse people's rights. It's because he's trying to physically remove me.
That's a no, then.
He threatened to physically remove me. You said you are going to assist them.
I said we can assist. The law
You
allows us to do that.
cannot.
Of course it does.
You cannot. You cannot. There is case law.
We can use common law to prevent breach of peace. Use
But
reasonable force to
what's the
prevent
breach of the peace here?
Well, there isn't one at the moment.
Exactly.
That's why I'm not doing anything.
Exactly. So yes, you do have that power, but
Thank
you
you.
have
I'm
to
glad we
be.
agree.
But you have to be. It has to
glad
be.
we
It
agree.
has
I
to
know
be
what I'm
a
talking
breach of the
about.
peace. But why bring it up if there's not a breach of
Well,
the
there has to be a
peace?
reasonable prospect. A genuine,
And
honest
what's
belief
what's the
that a breach
reasonable
of peace
prospect?
is about to occur.
And what's the reasonable prospect?
Well, there isn't one at the moment.
Exactly. So why mention it?
But if they were to ask you to
That's
remove
like
them,
saying
you start struggling with
that's
them.
like saying I have the power to do a citizen's arrest. It's not appropriate in this situation. So why would I mention it? You don't. That the power is not appropriate. So why mention
no
it?
offence committed, so
Exactly. So why exactly? But there's no breach of the peace. So why mention it? Because you want to flout your fucking
didn't let me
ego.
answer.
You want to flout your ego is what you
You're
want to
swearing
do.
here.
You want to flout your ego is what you want to do.
I want to move on to the next job.
Well, go then.
People
Bugger
need
off.
our help. All right.
Bugger off then.
But we're here.
Or bugger off
which is
then.
causing a scene.
I'm not causing a scene. You're causing a scene.
We've been called here. We can't just ignore the call.
Well, no, you've come and you've attended the call.
Yeah.
You said
No,
there's
we're
no
here,
offence.
and
There's
I'm
no.
waiting for these people to decide what they want to do.
But your oath is to the citizens, not to the corporations or to the government. Your oath is to the crown of this country, not the government, and your oath is to uphold the rights of citizens. Okay, not to uphold the policies of local job centres.
What about the
That's
rights
not
of
what you're
citizens
oath.
to have conversations with their consultants without
And
someone
if this
filming?
goes online, I will blur that out. The only reason I've recorded that is so that when I send it to the DWP and the ICO, the evidence is there.
What would you like? It's obviously it's up to you whether you want him to stay or not.
He is. He is.
There's no reason.
There's
to say
absolutely
that.
every need.
There
There
is.
is. There is. I'm not calling you a prick. You haven't even got a blue line badge on. I appreciate that as well. But no, your colleague likes to flout his ego and think that he's got all controlling power over me, but he doesn't. Until an offence has been committed, you have no power.
We didn't say we had any.
He did. He's threatened to put hands on me to remove me from this building.
He never did that.
He threatened it. He said he was going to.
You have it all recorded.
Yes.
What did he say?
He said he's going to assist them in removing me from the building.
And that's threatening.
Yes, it is. That's a threat of an assault because you don't have that power.
That's a threat of assault.
Yes, you don't have that power to put hands on me for a civil matter.
Assist.
Assisting how? How else would you assist other than to physically remove me if I refuse?
We can assist.
Assist how? Assist how? What, physically?
What?
Physically?
We can.
You cannot. You cannot. And I'll be taking this up with who's your supervisor, for example? Who's like in charge of Islington area?
You can find out.
The commissioner. Is it commissioner? No, commander, isn't it? Commander, you call it. Your local commander. Okay.
They've changed their mind and they're willing to let you stay.
Because they know that you've got nothing that you can do. Bugger off. Bugger off. I'm done. Bugger off. Bugger off. Exactly. So what? Exactly. We could have figured it out 10 minutes ago. You didn't have to stay here all this time, did you? Bugger off. See you later, mate. There we go, guys. So yeah, Irish constable, bit of a prick. Yeah, they will be getting complaints for the threat of trying to physically remove me, which they don't have the power to do. And yeah, the ICO and the MP for the DWP will be getting the footage for the breaches of data protection. Breaches of data under data protection. Absolutely disgusting, that Irish constable. Just want to say before I go, I'm really, really happy that you didn't put yourself in a position that you would have got fired from your job for, because honestly, I'm sure you're aware it's in your company policies not to get physical with anyone. I know you're trying to keep the peace. I know you are. I know.
Like I said,
Yeah, yeah.
and we understand that.
Yeah, yeah.
At no time should we don't have that reasonable for. At no time should we touch somebody.
And that's self-defense. That's the only time.
Mouth to mouth.
Yes, yeah,
we
exactly.
told you what the policy
Yes,
is,
yeah, I
but you
understand.
also have your opinion. So
Yeah,
we take the
absolutely. And then we
punishment.
can talk about that politely, and I appreciate that. But under the law, you have the right to use reasonable force for a trespasser, but your policy for G4S says never, unless it's in self-defense, and you would end up getting fired. So I'm really happy that you didn't do that. And this is where the police can be dangerous, because they could have put you in a position where you would have got physical with me. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you wouldn't.
Thank you very
But again, it's still things like this. I can see people's names here, like work coats. All that information. That shouldn't be on display, my friend. And this is what I was trying to say in the first instance, is that I should not be able to see that information.
Each one of the most critical turning points in the entire encounter. The question of whether the auditor was actually asked illegally. That detail matters. Someone is clearly instructed to leave private property and refuses, the situation can move into trespass territory. But if that instruction never happened, the person may argue there's still lawfully PR. How quickly the tension rises, auditor immediately accuses the